What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Lions video. Now today we have another sleeper, another secondary sleeper prospect to go over today in Florida defensive back Marco Wilson. Now this is another guy with a lot of athletic upside, a guy with a lot of potential with the Florida Gators, a lot of production with the Florida Gators, and a guy that I think could be a late round steal for the Detroit Lions. Now, if you're excited for this video, if you want to hear more about Marco Wilson, we will get into it in just a couple of moments. But before that, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, the draft content or the Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of you to do so. It's quick, free, and easy, and you would be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. And if you enjoy the content, you could even go above and beyond. Do me a special favor and become a member of the channel to receive special perks on the daily. But with that being the case, and without any further ado, let's get into this secondary sleeper prospect in Florida defensive back Marco Wilson. Now, Marco Wilson has spent his past 4 seasons, his past 4 collegiate seasons with the Florida Gators. He played in 32 games for the Gators, totaling 99 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 17 passes defended, as well as a fumble recovery. Now, 2019 was by far his best season, where he played in 12 games for Florida, totaled 36 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, and was a true freshman. He actually had 10 passes defended and did not come up with an interception, but got a lot of balls away. Like when he was thrown at, when he was targeted, he did not allow a lot of completions and had a lot of pass breakups and a lot of passes defended. Now, Marco Wilson does stand at 6'1", 191 pounds, a very good size for a corner, and is actually the younger brother of former NFL cornerback Quincy Wilson, the former Florida Gator alumni. When looking at athletic scores, if you want an athletic player, if you want an athletic corner in your secondary, Marco Wilson is your guy. He's by far the most athletic cornerback in the class, recording a 9.99 RAS score out of 10. As I said the other day, RAS is your raw athleticism score, taking into account your size, your speed, your strength, and your explosiveness. He recorded a 9.99, almost perfect. Very few players have ever gotten that high on an RAS score, so that tells you right there that he is an athlete, he's an athletic monster, and he is by far the best and most athletic cornerback in this draft class. Now, when looking at his pro day, when looking at Marco Wilson's traits as a player, he actually put up 26 reps on the bench, 26 reps of 225 at his pro day. Very impressive for a guy of his size, very impressive for a guy of his weight. 26 reps is not an easy feat to accomplish. He also had a 43.5-inch vertical jump, which is incredible explosiveness. That is one of the highest verts in this draft class. He also recorded an 11-foot and 4-inch broad jump, again, one of the highest in the classes, especially at the cornerback position. And not only that, he also backed that up with a 40 time of 4.35. Now, he also had a 6.8 second 3-cone drill, all of these statistics put him in the elite category for an athlete. Now, Marco Wilson is projected to go anywhere from rounds 4 through 7. I've seen him go as high as the 4th round, early in the 4th round, and I've seen him go as low as middle of the 7th round. And there's a lot of range, a lot of projection on where this guy could go in the NFL draft. However, I think the Lions could look to scoop him up probably in round 4, maybe round 5 or 6 if he does end up falling that far. I mean, anything past round 4 really, I think would be really, really good value for Marco Wilson. Now, Marco Wilson has a lot of really good traits for him. He has a lot of really good intangibles when it comes to the cornerback position. He's a very good tackler, or a very willing tackler for a cornerback, a guy that isn't necessarily the biggest, a guy that isn't necessarily the most imposing guy on the field. He does tackle incredibly well. He does wrap up very, very well. He's more than willing to tackle, more than willing to step up and make a big hit on a wide receiver, more than willing to hit the wide receiver to jar the ball loose. Like, he is more than willing to tackle, and he's actually a really good blitzer from the slot. He's a guy that Florida blitzed quite a bit. He's a guy that was really, really effective as a blitzing nickelback, and he's a guy that if the Lions did want to use him that way, they could always use him in that vicinity. However, he is not just a good blitzer. He's not just a good tackler. He is a really good cornerback. He does cover really, really well. He does have incredible balls because he's good at high pointing the ball, good at out jumping guys. I mean, of course, with his athleticism, with his 43.5-inch vertical, he's very good at high pointing the ball. More times than not, you see him out jump, outreach everybody body to the football. He's usually the first guy to get his hands on the football, and with his 4.35 speed, he is very rarely ever beat deep down the field. He's, pretty good in coverage. He has really good instincts. He has great ball skills. He's a great blitzer. He's a great tackler. He does have some poor technique. I'm not going to lie. He does not use his hands very well, does not jam with the line very well. I believe on, most of his snaps, a majority of the snaps he played for the Florida Gators, a lot of his snaps came from off coverage, given a little bit of a cushion, 3 to 5 yard cushion, kind of giving him that extra second, giving that extra moment to process, kind of see where the wide receiver is going in his route. And with that can lead to some things, that can lead to some concerns. Obviously, if it's a quicker route and you give him that cushion, or if it's a screen pass, it'll be much harder to break up with that cushion. However, it has not really come back to bite him very often. It has not really come back to hurt Marco Wilson very often. And even with his poor technique, even with his poor hands, and even with his, not necessarily stellar footwork, his athleticism, him being a raw athlete and being such an explosive player leaves him beat very, very few times. I mean, there was a play, I believe it was against Virginia, where, the quarterback did a pump fake very early, like it was a fake screen. Marco Wilson stepped to the screen, like he was stepping to it to go pick it off or make a big play. It was a pump fake. The wide receiver then cut upfield. Marco Wilson was very out of position this play. Like, he jumped, he thought he saw the play. It was a fake. It was a very well-designed play. It faked him out. It faked a lot of people out. And then the wide receiver, even though he had a step immediately, Marco Wilson then flipped his hips, turned, and got right back into that hip pocket with the wide receiver down the field, and actually got the pass breakup on the play anyway. Like, he was beat on the play because of his poor technique and because he was a little over aggressive, but his athleticism, his explosiveness, his 4.35 speed, and his height, weight, vertical ability all allowed him to get back in the play immediately and still make the pass breakup and still not allow a play down the field. Like, he has incredibly high potential for a player. This is a guy, you might look at Florida cornerbacks and say, no way, but this is not Teez Tabor. This is not Quincy Wilson. These are not guys that are hyped up but don't necessarily have the greatest athletic scores. This is a guy that has the size to be a good cornerback. This is a guy that has the speed and the ability, the athletic prowess to be a really good cornerback. He's a good tackler. He's a good blitzer. All you have to really teach him as a cornerback coach, all you have to really teach him as a secondaries coach or as a defensive coordinator is how to use his hands a little bit more effectively, how to press a little bit better at the line, and how to engage contact that much earlier so you can feel the route and you can be that much quicker and that much more decisive each and every given play. Now, when looking at Marco Wilson, when looking at the things he needs to work on, I don't see a better situation for him. I don't see a better DC/cornerbacks coach combination than what you're going to get with Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn. If any combination of defensive coordinator and secondary coach is going to teach Marco Wilson how to use his hands correctly, it's two former cornerbacks. It's two guys that have coached some of the best secondary players in the NFL, and it is two guys that by themselves had to learn exactly how to use their hands early in routes, learn how to get contact, learn how to use that first initial punch to throw people off. Like, these guys have already learned how to do it. They can teach Marco Wilson everything he needs to know because he has all the tools. Wilson has everything in the bag, has everything in the toolbox to be successful in the NFL. The only thing that's going to stop him from being great is his technique. If he goes up against some technicians like a Devontae Adams in the NFL, he's probably not going to do so great right away because he's just simply not that technically sound of a player. But with his athletic ability, he's going to make plays early. He can be a guy that even on day one, you can rotate in, you can get some snaps for him in the preseason. You're going to see a lot of him. He's probably going to be targeted a lot early, but he's going to make some plays for you. He has the athleticism. He's going to get his hands on the football. He's going to get some intercepts for you. He's going to get a lot of passes defended. He's not going to allow things deep. A lot of the struggle last year and a lot of the struggle over the past couple years is that our cornerbacks don't have speed. Amani is not incredibly fast. Okudah is not incredibly fast. Mike Ford does not have the greatest 40 speed either. Neither does Dunbar or Corn Elder. Like, our cornerbacks are not super fast, and especially in that Texans game, you saw that just pure speed, that pure athleticism take advantage of our slower, more technique-based corners. Marco Wilson is the exact opposite. He is a cornerback that the Lions do not have on the roster right now, and he would be a guy that anybody, any secondaries coach, any defensive coordinator would love to get their hands on and would love to mold into a great cornerback prospect. Now, with that being said, with all that being said, and with all that out of the way, that is all I have for you guys today. That is the next sleeper secondary prospect in Florida, cornerback Marco Wilson. This is a guy that I really like. This is a guy, as I said, 4th round, 5th round, early on day 3, you take a pick in on this guy. You use a pick on this guy. You let Aubrey Pleasant, you let Aaron Glenn go to work. You let them teach him exactly what he needs to know with his hand use and his footwork. And all of a sudden, boom, just like that, you have a 4th round steal, a guy that can step in immediately, be a good cornerback, be a rotational guy, and maybe even one day step in and be the cornerback 2, or maybe, just maybe, be the cornerback number 1. But with that being said, with all that out of the way, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about cornerback Marco Wilson? Would you like to see the Lions take him in the draft? If so, where would you like to see the selection take place? And how high of a ceiling do you think this player actually has? Let me know that down in the comments. I'd be very curious to hear what you guys think. But with all that being said and all that out of the way, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, as I said, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day. It's quick, free, and easy, and you would be helping the channel out a ton. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's Lions news or rumors that come out, a video will be made. But thank you all so very much for watching, and until next time, and as always, go Lions!